What's going on, everyone? It's Cheesesteak. Sorry for the lighting. It's dark. I don't like lights. Hopefully the sound quality is better than it has been. It has been the past few videos. I dialed it back a little bit a few videos ago, and hopefully it sounds good. Getting this tier list video out. I plan on doing some sort of Easter egg video, whether it be in Cold War or Black Ops 3. I don't know which map I want to do yet, but I'll do one of those here soon, and take some time to edit it down, like I did with the DE bow video and the Zetsubo Easter egg. I'm gonna do an Easter egg next. We'll see what map it is. I haven't decided yet. It'll be a surprise. But this video is nothing to do with zombies. It's gonna be on Elden Ring. These are all the bosses you get an achievement for. I was gonna do remembrances, but I figured this would be a more comprehensive list because there's only 15 remembrance bosses. There's probably like 20 or 30 of these. But let's get into it. I mean, we have some criteria. It's kind of so visuals number one. Well, not number one, but visuals, mechanics, and then we're gonna go like cutscenes slash like how important they are to the lore as the other one, and the X factor. Obviously, you gotta go X factor in pretty much every tier list because there's bias involved. That's basically the bias criteria. So starting off with the cosmic anal bead, Estelle. Um, the visuals on this boss are insane. Like probably one of the best ones, but everything else sucks. Like the mechanics are terrible. He doesn't have like a very robust move set. Very predictable. It is a weird looking boss. And the other thing too is like he's kind of locked behind Ronnie's quest line. So if you don't do that, I mean most people do, but if you don't do that, then it's at the end. And the other thing too is at the end of a quest line, you expect like a bigger boss. It is kind of fitting for the whole Ronnie thing, but C tier, all things considered. Red Wolf of Radagon. This is the stereotypical glass cannon. Doesn't really have insane move set. It's basically like you either kill him in 5 seconds or he kills you in 5 seconds. It's not a very fun boss fight, and he's literally like the last thing you have to do before getting to Ronnie. Or sorry, Ronnie, Renala. Sorry, I was talking about Ronnie in the last one. Get to Renala. Like you could run straight to Renala after you beat him. And there's a bunch of other like just mini bosses per se throughout the map, so it kind of takes away. But it does look sweet with the sword in his mouth. The foreskin duo. I'm gonna put the Godskin duo at C. This is like one of the most hated boss fights. So I think it's not D because number one you get the last bell bearing, which is amazing, and number two the music is fucking insane. This is probably like my favorite, if not top three, uh, music tracks when you're fighting a boss in the game. And this is also towards the end, so kind of sucks that you don't get to experience this till the end of the game. But each one of these bosses individually I actually kind of liked, but putting them together just was miserable. Ooh, Roderick. What's Styro Wimpy Kid? Godric. I'm gonna put him in B. He's the first Remembrance boss you fight most of the time. There's ways around it, but he's the first Remembrance boss I fought in the entire game. And he's got like the stereotypical slow move set, like fucking like um shows his moves. What's the word for that? I don't know. But it's very telegraphed. That's the word. His moves are very telegraphed. And the cutscene was pretty insane. He cuts off his arm, puts the dragon arm on him. I was like, what the fuck? When I first saw this, I honestly struggled with him more than Margit because he just had a larger health pool, and I didn't really like know how to play the game at that point. But he's a B tier. He's solid. First Remembrance boss. So this is okay. This is Sewer Moog, I think. I'm gonna go C. So for me personally, I didn't fight him until after I beat the game because I kind of missed that part of the sewers. But he's basically just like actual Moog, but shittier, just the first phase. And he's not very hard if you ask me. His moves are very easy to tell. He's got a sick visuals, but cooler visuals on the actual Remembrance bosses we get to. There's not like I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on him. Who is that? I can't tell who that is. Oh, is that Millennia? No, that's Millennia. Who is that? All right, we're gonna come back to that because I can't tell who the fuck that is. Is that no? It's not Placidu Sax. Holy shit! All right, we're gonna go to Loretta next. I'll go Loretta B, C. I mean, not a main boss once again, but she does have some unique move sets from when you fight her, like her ghosts, or I think her silhouette's on here somewhere too. She has some additional move sets from that, and it's on the Hallowed Tree, which is kind of a cool area. It's the whole, the whole Millennia like lead up is pretty fucking awesome if you ask me. She has a second phase where she gets a few new moves. The visuals are decent. The arena is not great, but her boss design in general is pretty cool. This is, I think it's Niall, or it might be O'Neal. I'm gonna say it's Niall because Niall is more significant. I'm gonna put him in B. So he's kind of a bitch and a half, but you kind of need to beat him to get to the second half of the secret medallion. And if you fight O'Neal beforehand, which I think most people do, he's kind of a step up from that. Got the flag, rally the minions, and there's a few ways you can tackle this boss, which I like. You can kill the minions first, or you can just bum rush him and get him to a second phase. Visuals are decent. I like the frost aspect. They really steered into that well in the castle. Leonine, I'm gonna go B as well. I kind of struggled with him at first because he was one of the first like big bosses that, not big bosses, but one of the first achievement bosses I fought, and I struggled with him, man, until I figured out that like he had a certain pattern of moves and he was super easy to parry. It was hard. It's kind of cool. He's isolated in the corner of the map. It's at Castle Morn, I think. And it took me a while to get to him, and I don't know, I struggled. And he drops a decent weapon too, a legendary weapon. So I don't know. You fight him again with the Crucible Knight at the, what's it called? The fort in Caelid, but I don't know. He's an average boss. The deer. Are there two deer on here? I don't know which one's which. I assume that's the Regal Ancestor and that's like the regular one. Dude, it's not like that they're bad. It's just that they're lackluster. Like the visuals on the Remembrance one are cooler, if you ask me. He can regen health, but he just fucking jumps in the air, slams down, sprays his fucking vomit. Like, I don't know. You think a cosmic fucking deer? That can't be cool. That was kind of a dumb idea. It kind of goes with the whole wilderness aspect, which I like. It went with the theme, but the actual mechanics of this boss fight were just dog shit. And this boss is a fucking joke in all aspects. Makar, another get out tier. Dude, when he does his fucking attack where he spits like lava on the ground and just runs forward, that's so stupid. I hate that attack so much. The most OP attack ever if you ever played Monster Hunter. It's just so stupid. But he's the boss you have to beat to get to Altus the alternate way, not doing the Dectus medallion way. Which isn't bad, I guess. But I don't know, he's just a gimmick if you ask me. All right, we've had some shitty bosses, but now we got our first good one. A tier Malekith. Um, the game kind of builds up to him with the Beast Clergyman, and you walk up like, "Dost thou covet destined death?" or something like that. And then the phase two, he's like quite legitimately a glass cannon. He's not too bad in the first few NG iterations, but once you get to like NG plus 4 on, he's a force to be reckoned with, man. You actually kind of got to learn his move set because early on you can kind of just blast through it and not give a shit. But the visuals are cool in this boss. He's in Firm Azula. He's crucial to the storyline. He's actually like the only boss you have to beat theoretically to beat the game until you get to like Elden Beast. But he's just sick. The Retta silhouette. We'll go D just because it's kind of a step down from regular Loretta. Part of Ronnie's quest line. Nothing too crazy. I mean, I struggle with her a little bit just because, again, once again, it was early on in my playthrough. And silhouette bosses, you can't really do any procs on them, so you gotta beat them the old-fashioned way. Yeah, no really unique moves, no cool mechanics, just kind of basic. Like, why is this an achievement boss, dude? This motherfucker is just so easy. You hit his like right leg or left leg, one of his legs. You just go up and hit it. Zero mechanical skill involved with this boss. And then, I mean, he is which area is he in? Shifra or the other one? I don't remember. He's in one of the underground areas, but I don't know. I just kind of like was surprised when he came up and I just clapped him. Not really critical to like anything. No offense to him. Ooh. Fire Giant, I'm torn. I'm gonna go B tier. He has three phases technically. Um, two phases if you only count cutscenes, but this is kind of a gimmick boss fight. Not as gimmicky as some other ones, which we'll get into, but a little bit of a gimmick. I don't know, kind of a not necessarily mechanical skill based. It's just kind of a drag. He has such a huge health pool, but the visuals are really fucking cool. You know, he's by the forge of the giants, top of the mountaintops, and he has some cool phases. The fire, the eye in his chest, the braids, the weak point. You know, there's some little like nuggets in this boss fight that are cool. But overall, I think it's just an average boss in the grand scheme. I don't get people who hate it. I don't get people who love it. It's just mid if you ask me. Renala. I'm gonna go another mid boss. So like if it was only her second phase, it'd probably be A tier. But her first phase is such a gimmick. Like when I first rolled on that bitch, I was like, what the fuck's going on? This is so stupid. And she just falls down. You beat the fuck out of her, kill her minions or whatever, children. I don't know. It was kind of weird. I felt uncomfortable doing this boss fight. But her second phase is fucking sick. The visuals are insane. The summons are a pain in the dick. She's also like a kind of a glass cannon type. She has low poise, but just fucking spams you with magic. It was fun my first time beating her. Morgot, A tier. He's solid. So like, I think I beat Margit my first try ever because I was OP as shit. But then I got to Morgot. Actually, I think I beat Morgot my first try as well. But you know, he's kind of like the an honorable guy. You know, there's a lot of lore behind him. Like taking the throne, being an omen, his curse and everything. There's a few good cutscenes, and like the second phase is pretty insane. If you get comboed, like you're fucking done. The visuals are cool because you're like in front of the Erd Tree, the throne, and everything. It's just a solid boss overall. I think this is some people's favorite boss. I guess I gotta go Moog A tier. He's way better than his sewer counterpart. Just fucking blood everywhere. I struggled with him personally. I used a lot of bleed, and he has the Nihil thing where he just blood losses you, and you need the physic to counteract that or just heal through it. I got the physic. I was a pussy, but his second phase is really where it really picks up because like the first phase you're like okay this is like sewer mode. The second phase you're like holy fuck this guy's flying around and shit. He's got the wings. And you know he goes along with the Omen storyline. You know kind of banished, put in the sewers. He's not as honorable as Morgoth if you ask me though. Gold free. D tier. I mean, it's what a shitty fucking like iteration of Godfrey. Um, dude, there's just no cool moves. It's in the fucking shitty ass room with all the doors. He does like just spins and like the basic slam. He's a ghost, so you can't do any cool shit to him. I don't know, dude. I just didn't like this. It's right before Morgot too, so I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm gonna go Mimic Tier C, surprisingly. I don't know. This is kind of a funny boss fight. I remember my friends were talking about like, you get to the Mimic Tier yet? I'm like, no. What's that? And you get to the Mimic Tier and you're just fighting yourself. It's kind of another gimmick boss fight, but it's one of the more fun ones because you can just like strip yourself down and just fight him naked if you want, or you could you know put your shit back on and clap his ass. There's a lot of possibilities with him. So I think this is Fortisex. Is Placidusix on here? No, okay, that's Plastigisex or Placidusix. Okay, I'm gonna go with him, and I'm gonna assume that's him because I don't see him anywhere else on here, and that's gonna be Fortisex. Um, I'm gonna go Plastigisex. Well, this is tough. I really love this boss. I'm gonna go A, dude. He's the best dragon boss fight in the game. He's fucking insane. He's got like the three heads, two heads, whatever. He's all scarred, and like the thing that gets me on this, like you get in the coffin, and like you have the cutscene to go to his arena, and when you get to his arena, you're like, what the fuck? You see this like goddamn cocoon fall down. Um, that was just badass to me. And Inferum, this giant arena, he's got his laser beam attack. Cool mechanics, I guess, for a dragon. Had the best mechanics of all dragon fights. Because dragon fights in itself are a gimmick. I say gimmick a lot. Take a shot every time I say it. Yeah, A tier. Vortex is a C, dude. I I did not have fun in this boss fight. Not that it was hard, it was just stupid. It was just fucking lightning spam. It wasn't even balanced. I just walk in and just lightning all over the goddamn arena, and it's part of Fia's quest line, which is kind of dog shit. Fia's champions and whatnot. I'm surprised that's not on here for an achievement. Excuse me for a second. Need a drink. But yeah, dragon dragon boss fights not the best. Valiant foreskins, no, Valiant gargoyles. Get out tier, dude. I had so much struggle with this boss. It's an optional boss. I think don't you need this to do Rani's quest line to get to the deep root and everything? They're just terrible, man. Like they're kind of they kind of fixed the coding on them so they don't attack you at the same time. But even like after they did that, it's still just dog shit. The poison attack is the worst attack known to man. Just fix the whole floor. The mechanics are decent. I'll give them that. The visuals are meh. I mean, it's underground, so it's kind of hard to do cool stuff with them. And the second one comes in. I actually had to change my build for this one, like actually make an actual build instead of just winging it to beat them the first time. So I'm not a fan at all. The foreskin. He's gonna go see. I like his counter or her counterpart better. The skinny, the McSkinny, Godskin Apostle. Um, so the thing was like I don't know. So we'll talk about the McSkinny first. The when it transitioned away phase two, I lost my shit. It was so fucking funny watching this windmill like go out and like plant in the ground, and then I like went to hit the ass, and then it brought its ass to its face, so I couldn't hit its ass, and it was just fucking hilarious. And this boss is kind of the same. When I saw it roly poly the first time, I got clapped, and I just losing my shit. It was so funny watching a boss do this. It got kind of ruined when I fought him again in the duo. But the first time experiencing this was just fucking hilarious. Mechanics were okay, parryable boss, um, critical to the story, I guess, before Rykard. Which, speaking of Rykard, probably the worst remembrance boss in the game. Either him or the deer. It's just a gimmick, dude. They give you the Serpent Hunter, and I don't know, you just R1 and Art of War spam over and over again. His sword is pretty cool. Obviously, Blasphemous Blade, one of the best weapons in the game, best remembrance weapon in the game. Uh, and I don't know, he's just the Volcano Manor leading up to this, kind of like it's kind of a dog shit fight with all you had to go through in Volcano Manor. Um, Lord of Blasphemy, that's a cool name. I really like I kind of like the lore behind him. You know, fed himself to a serpent. But other than that, he kind of sucks. Oh, what's this guy's name? He's at the Shaded Castle. Shit. He's basically like a bell bearing hunter. He's gonna go C tier, dude. He's like the classic like Michael Myers just walk at you and swing and have like a million poise. And his weapon's pretty cool. The spinny blade Ash of War. It's just funny fighting bosses like this that just walk at you and you have to beat the fuck out of them. I did struggle a little bit with him, but by the end of it, not really. His name like Geralt? No, that's the Ash of War guy. I don't know his name. Fuck, I need to play this game again and remember. But yeah, he's a decent boss. We have no S tiers, dude. Well, we have like a few S tiers coming up. So the first S tier, Horaloo or Godfrey. Um, Dude, this boss was I think he has three phases because he has the regular first phase and then the second phase he does like the slams on the whole arena. And then you got Horaloo, which is the fucking crackhead warrior dude that sprints at you and slams you and shit. I don't know. I was losing my shit the first time I did this. So like in terms of the story, it has meaning too because he was the Elden Lord, tarnished and everything, kind of like parallels your story as the character. And then he also has a giant ass axe in the first two phases. I don't know. The visuals are cool. It's back in the throne room with Morgott. Um, if you don't have fun in this boss, there's something wrong with you. Next S tier, Radahn. I call him Radahn. Radahn's my favorite boss in the game, hands down. So before he got nerfed, this dude was fucking stupid. He was so hard to kill. And also like the cutscene leading up to it, or the everything leading up to it. So you have number one, the festival, they're like honoring Radahn and shit. And then you get there, you have to teleport in this big ass arena. You're like, what the fuck? And there's like 20 summons on the ground, and you just sprint in at this dude shooting giant bows at you. And then when you get to him, he has like the double fisting these giant swords and just goes at you. You have no idea what to do. Bear in mind this is early game when we didn't know the move sets. And then the phase two, he just goes into fucking space as a meteor and comes back down. That's crazy. And then to top it all off, at the end, get a cutscene of the stars falling or meteors, whatever you want to call it, and opening up the underground sections of the map. So all around, just a great boss, cool name, cool atmosphere, good mechanics. Probably the best boss if you ask me. Millennia. You know, I was gonna go A. The only thing that would knock her down to A is that dog shit waterfowl dance move. It's so yes, it's dodgeable and blockable and all this shit, but I don't give a fuck, dude. That's such a horseshit move for like players that suck like me. It took me so long to learn how to dodge that, and I still don't know, like, still don't remember how to do it. If I go back, I only beat her once in NG because I didn't want to fuck with it. But she is crazy. She is the hardest boss I fought in this game. I was gonna say ever. No, there's harder bosses I've fought. Monster Hunter, we're looking at you, Fatalis. But her like people would beat her phase one, like holy shit, that was a hard boss fight. And then there's a phase two, dude. Watching those reactions were fucking hilarious, and not to mention the lifesteal. Um, she's just super hard, and that's why she's so iconic, I think, and everything. And her storyline's probably gonna be big in the DLC with Mikola, so keep an eye out for that. Last but least, no, not least, Radagon. So Elden Beast is not pictured here, so I'm just gonna assume Elden Beast is not included because we don't identify with Elden Beast. Radagon was a sick final boss, dude. Or is it Elden Beast? No, it's Radagon. Radagon was awesome, dude. He's like he has Marika's hammer. Well, it could be Marika, we don't know. Radagon is Marika in this lore. If you know, you know. But he's like the Michael Myers type boss too that just walks at you and just fucking has these big slams on the ground, goes up in the air, has decent poise, and you're like inside the Erdtree at this point. It's the visuals are great on Radagon himself and inside the Erdtree with the arena. And then the hammer, the slams, it creates the Elden Ring logo inside, like when he slams. That's a good touch. The only thing that ruins this boss fight is the fact that Elden Beast is included with him. I don't know. I don't really like the Elden Beast boss fight. It's kind of a gimmick as well, if you ask me. Decent weapon, but looking at this tier list, it's about how I expected. Most of the Remembrance bosses are high up, with the exception of a few, and all the other achievement bosses are kind of mid, other than a few. Like I said, I think who's the highest mid-tier boss? Niall and Leonine. Yeah, I agree with that. Based off the first time I fought them. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys in the next one. Peace.